India Semiconductor Mission. India Semiconductor Mission, that is ISM, has been established within Digital India Corporation as an independent business division. ISM has full administrative and financial authority and is charged with catalyzing the India semiconductor ecosystem in production, packaging, and design. ISM has an advisory board comprised of some of the world's finest semiconductor professionals. ISM is the nodal agency for the effective, coherent, and seamless execution of India's semiconductor and manufacturing ecosystem development initiative. Objectives of ISM are as under. First, formulate a comprehensive long-term strategy for developing sustainable semiconductors and display manufacturing facilities and semiconductor design ecosystem in the country in consultation with the government ministries, departments, agencies, industry, and academia. Second, facilitate the adoption of secure microelectronics and developing trusted semiconductor supply chain, including raw materials, specialty chemicals, gases, and manufacturing equipment. Third, enable a multi-fold growth of Indian semiconductor design industry by providing requisite support in the form of electronic design automation tools, foundry services, and other suitable mechanisms for early stage startups. Number 4th, promote and facilitate indigenous intellectual property generation. Number 5th, encourage, enable, and incentivize transfer of technologies. 6th, establish suitable mechanism for harness economies of scale in the Indian semiconductor and display industry. Number 7, enable cutting-edge research in semiconductors and display industry, including evolutionary and revolutionary technologies through grants, global collaboration, and other mechanisms in academia, research institution, industry, and through establishing centers of excellence. Number 8, enable collaboration and partnership programs with national and international agencies, industries, and institutions for catalyzing collaborative research, commercialization, and skill development. ISM has served as the nodal agency for the schemes authorized under the Semicon India program. ISM has also been collaborating with many players in the semiconductor and display ecosystem in order to promote investments in India. So far, 13 crore has been released to ISM. Need for promoting the semiconductor industry. Semiconductor chips are the lifeblood of the modern information age. They enable electronic products to compute and control actions that simplify our lives. These semiconductor chips are the drivers for information and communication technology development and one of the key reasons for the current flattening of the world. They are used in critical infrastructure such as communication, power transmission, etc. that have implications for national security. Development of the semiconductor and display ecosystem will have a multiplier effect across different sectors of the economy with deeper integration to the global value chain. There are not many countries in the world that manufacture these chips. The industry is dominated by the United States of America, Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, and the Netherlands. Germany is also an emerging producer of ICTs. Position of India in semiconductor industry. India currently imports all chips and the market is estimated to touch $100 billion by 2025 from $24 billion now. India's own consumption of semiconductors is expected to cross $80 billion by 2026 and to $110 million by 2030. Challenges. High investment required. Semiconductors and display manufacturing is a very complex and technology-intensive sector involving huge capital investments, high risk, long gestation and payback periods, and rapid changes in technology which require significant and sustained investments. Minimal fiscal support from government. The level of fiscal support currently is not up to the mark when one considers the scale of investments typically required to set up a manufacturing capacities in the various subsectors of semiconductor industry. Lack of fabrication capacities. India has a decent chip design talent, but it never built up chip fab capacity. The ISRO and the DRDO has their respective fab foundries, but they are primarily for their own requirements and are also not as sophisticated as the latest in the world. India has only one old fab, which is located in Mohali, Punjab. Extremely expensive fab setup. A semiconductor fabrication facility or fab can cost multiples of $1 billion to set up, even on a relatively small scale, and lagging by a generation or two behind the latest in technology. Resource inefficient sector. Chip fabs are also very thirsty units requiring billions of liters of clean water, an extremely stable power supply, a lot of land, and a highly skilled workforce. The government is laser focused on its critical goal of establishing an entire semiconductor ecosystem that would catalyze India's fast developing electronics manufacturing and innovation environment. The government has authorized the Semicon India initiative, which would invest 76,000 crore in the development of the country's semiconductor and display manufacturing ecosystem. The new initiative would give financial assistance to enterprises investing in semiconductors, display production, and the design environment. This would pave the road for India's increased participation in global electronics value chains. Following four schemes have been introduced under the aforesaid program. First, modified scheme for setting up of the semiconductors fabs in India. The scheme extends a fiscal support of 50% of the project cost on pari passu basis for setting up of silicon CMOS based semiconductor fab in India. Second, modified scheme for setting up of display fabs in India for attracting large investments for manufacturing TFT, LCD or AMOLED based display panels in the country to strengthen the electronic manufacturing ecosystem. The scheme extends fiscal support of 50% of project cost on pari passu basis for setting up of display fabs in India. Third, modified scheme for setting up of compound semiconductors, silicon photonics, sensor fabs, discrete semiconductors fab and semiconductor assembly, testing, marketing and packaging, that is ATMP, OSAT facilities in India shall extend a fiscal support of 50% of the capital expenditure on pari passu basis for setting up of facilities in India. Semicon India Future Design Linked Initiative Scheme, that is DLI, offers financial incentives, design infrastructure support across various stages of development and deployment of semiconductor design for integrated circuits, chipsets, system on chips, systems and IP cores, and semiconductor linked design. The scheme provides product design linked initiative up to 50% of the eligible expenditure subject to a ceiling of Rs 15 crore per application, and deployment linked initiative for 6% to 4% of net sales turnover over 5 years subject to a ceiling of Rs 30 crore per application. In addition to the above schemes, government has also approved modernization of Semiconductor Laboratory Mohali as a brownfield fab.